All right, Bubba's. Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My boy Blue, and welcome to another Easter edition of Pause and Pray. The other day, Blue and I were out for a walk at Humboldt Park. It's a local park here in Bayview, just a couple of blocks from the church, and beautiful park to walk through, to run through. They have a lagoon that has a trail around it, and we were walking around the lagoon when we saw this scene of joy unfold. A little child, maybe 3 or 4 years old, was just completely lost in his own imaginative world, having so much fun playing. And his mom was gently trying to get his attention because it was time to go home. And this child was having none of that. So they made it a little bit of a game. The mom starts playfully chasing the child, and he starts playfully running away, and finally goes around a park bench to try to keep some space between him and his mother. And that's when we heard this just hilarious uproar of laughter, which followed the mother saying, "Okay, I just saw you lick the park bench. We're going home now." And it was just hilarious. It was so random and so out there, but so funny. There was a man walking his dog who was roaring in laughter, and he said, "That might just be the funniest thing I've heard in a long while." And the mom just kind of rolled her eyes and looked at us and said, "Well, this little one's full of life." And on the rest of our walk, I thought about that notion of being full of life, and how often that sense of being full of life is elusive to me. I find myself running on empty more than with a full tank. It was part of the reason why I was out for an afternoon walk with Blue, to try to get some endorphins going and take in some fresh air so I could get back to the parish here and get back to work that was waiting with a new sense of gusto. But more often than not, I find myself just trying to navigate life with an empty tank. In today's daily office, though, we read from Paul's letter to the Colossians, and in verse 10 of chapter 2, where Paul celebrates God's desire and ability to bring us to the fullness of life through Christ. And really, what a wonderful gift to reflect on and celebrate. Because again, for me, more often than not, I'm dealing with an empty tank. But today, experiencing that wonderful Easter invitation to pause and pray and reflect on the ways in which we come to find God in our own daily lives, bringing us into the fullness of life. Maybe that's through a hobby that we tap into on a regular basis that really feeds us and energizes us after a long day's work. Or maybe it's tapping into a cause that we're really passionate about, that awakens some life in us that otherwise seems to be dormant. Or maybe it's those very few relationships we have that are truly soul nourishing. Or maybe it's found in the incredible joy of children who are so happy and so full of life that they even dare to lick park benches. Hey, you do you. Easter peace and blessings to you all.